guys, welcome back to the Desk Corner. Welcome to a very quick video. If you guys have been here for a while, you might remember a video where I decided to make my own Holbein Pastel color chart with pencils I already have, like the Pablos, Polychromos, and Luminance, and see how well I could match up and which colors might be worth it for me to actually buy because they don't have a very close match in another set that I already own. This was difficult for me to do without actually having the Holbein pastel tones to compare to. I had to use online color charts and things like that. But then a few months ago, I received the 12 Holbein artist colored pencil set as a gift, and I created a video about that too. I'll link both videos that I'm talking about in my description below if you're new here or if you missed those. And I thought before I forget again, it would be fun to try and compare some of these actual Holbein colors to the ones that I made up here. And by the way, I am not sure if I'm planning on expanding my Holbein pastel set, but if I do expand it eventually, I guess I could go and compare all of the colors. That would be a fun video to do. So let's just go through this quickly here. Cream. And by the way, I have written the Holbein names and then in parentheses the actual pencil that I used. So for example, for Cream, I tried to match as closely as I could, and then in parentheses, it's actually Polychromos Cream. And let's zoom in so it's easier for you guys to see. The Polychromos Cream is much lighter in value than the cream from the Holbein set, which is funny because these ones are the pastel tones, so you'd expect them to be even lighter. But it's actually like a shade or two darker, but pretty much the same. Yeah, it's the same color, just a shade or two darker. So that one is actually a pretty decent match. Then we look at Naples Yellow and we can compare that to the color that I found for Naples Yellow, which is the Polychromos Naples Yellow, and it's actually not very well matched at all. This one is much more orange from the Holbein set, and this one feels more like a true Naples Yellow, at least from what I know, in the Polychromos set. And funny enough, it matches very well with the Pablos Apricot, but it seems to match a little bit better actually than these two. Next we've got Salmon Pink, and the color I used for that is the Pablos Salmon, and I think that's a pretty decent match. Maybe another shade darker, but still a pretty decent match. And then we have just Pink, and that one is not the best match. I used the Pablos Rose Pink, and I think that this is way too rosy, and honestly I should have matched that one up to the actual rose pink. But what happens sometimes is as I was doing this, I realized I used a color up already that would have worked better for another color, and that's kind of just how it went. Next we've got Mauve, and Mauve I compared to the Pablos Mauve, which by the way is very off. The Pablos Mauve is darker and a different tone even. This one looks more like lavender-y to me, but I don't know, my colors really, I'm very bad at naming purples, so I don't really know, but I think that these two colors are way off. It does match decently to this Polychromos color, and I think that it's just a little bit more purple, so it's almost like a combination of this one and this one. Next we've got Wisteria, which I think is a pretty unique color that I couldn't find a very good match for. I compared it to the Wisteria here, which is actually the Polychromos Violet, not Wisteria. I keep forgetting, I keep mixing up the parentheses names and the Holbein name. So the Wisteria in the Holbein set is definitely a more unique color that you can't really find in other sets because it doesn't match up very much. It's much more blue than this Violet from the Polychromos, and it's darker from the Luminance Ultramarine Violet, which I used for the color Lilac. Next we've got Lavender Blue. So I matched that one to the Polychromos Sky Blue, and I think that that's a pretty decent match. So there's another win. How many wins do we have here? Not too many, honestly. Just a few out of these were actual pretty good matches. I think these two are very decent matches though. Next we've got Sky Blue, and I think that this is a pretty easy color to find. Here's the Sky Blue that I used. It's actually Luminance Light Blue. That's the color I used for Sky Blue, and it's a little bit darker than what the Sky Blue is in the Holbein set, but I still feel like this color is not terribly unique by itself. Maybe there's like a Prismacolor that's close to that one. I didn't do Prismacolor in this whole set, so I feel like I recognize that color from maybe a different set like Prismacolor, but I could be wrong. Next we've got Ice Green, kind of like a turquoisey color, and I matched that to light blue in the Pablos set, which it actually matches okay. Obviously we have brighter and lighter in the Holbein set, but the actual color itself is a pretty decent match. I don't know if I would call that one a win though. Next we've got Cobalt Green, and I'll admit that one is a fail. I matched it to Cobalt Green in the Luminance set, and that is just not the same green at all. It actually matches better to the Pablos Jade Green, but it's still not quite that green either. So yeah, that one didn't work out super well. And finally we have lettuce green, and I think this one was a good match. I matched it to the Pablos light green. There were a lot of pastel colors in the Pablos, if you notice that a lot of these are Pablos. So if you are looking for more pastel colored pencils, think about maybe checking out the Caran d'Ache Pablos set if you find it hard to get your hands on Holbein, or if they're ultra expensive where you are. You could just buy some Pablos open stock to fill some of those pastel holes that you might have in your colored pencil collection, because they really do have a good range of pastels. So I would say maybe 5 of these were a good match, maybe 5 if I'm being generous. Cream could be a decent match, even though it's a bit darker. Salmon pink could be a decent match, and I think that lavender blue, ice green, and lettuce green are all pretty decent matches also. So that's about 5 colors out of the 12. And the other 7 colors are a bit more unique, and I couldn't find a match in the Pablos, Luminance, or Polychromos set. I don't know, if I did miss something, if there's a color that you think matches some of these, let me know in the comments down below. I hope that you guys found this fun. I've wanted to do this comparison ever since I got these Holbeins, but I keep forgetting about it. Thank goodness I remembered that today so that we could finally compare and see how good of a job I did. And spoiler alert, a lot of these don't match up at all, so the Holbeins definitely have some unique colors, but I think I will just have to go through and be careful about what colors I want to get open stock, because buying the entire set might be a no-no since they are so pricey at the moment. Alright you guys, that's it for today's video. Just a very quick one here and an update on the previous videos that I've made. And thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. I know we've been very supply heavy in my videos recently. That's because I'm working on kind of a bigger art project that's not going to be ready until maybe another video or 2 down the line. So we are just kind of doing some other stuff in the meantime on my channel. Hope you guys understand. Sometimes when I work on a bigger project, it's hard to just pump out quite as many videos where I'm working on artwork, if that makes sense. But I will see you guys soon, and you'll see what project I'm working on very soon. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!